Listen, you saucy ladies out there, 10:27 on the timer. I'm going to give you a free love reading right now for this twin flame journey, because you guys need it. You're screaming through the ethers. Based off the last video about this, I'm thinking you guys need some answers. Let's get to it. All right, I'm doing this for the collective, all for the gram, right? For you guys as a whole. The OG love deck. Why? Because we're on the twin flame journey. And if this resonates, you're going to know. Okay, here's what you need to know. I'm going to give you the twin flame perspective of the dude you guys are all thinking about. That for some reason isn't messaging you back. We kind of got a glimpse into it, but Spirit, please channel through me to tell me the masculine of all these females just waiting for you. These twin flame divine pairings. I want to know what they're thinking. Channel through me. Speak through the ethers. These ladies need to know. Could be 2 females in the physical on the twin flame journey as well. 2 males. But here you go. This is the scariest thing they've ever gone through. They feel like they're on a fucking magic school bus. They don't know which way is up and which way is down. Why? Because they're purging emotions they've never had to really feel in their entire life. And they're trying to become an emperor, and it's sideways right now, which means it's really good. You know why? It means they're halfway along this journey, and they're like, I'm here for the ride. They're being fucking pummeled from each side. Spirit's laying the fucking hammer on them, guys. You gotta remember, most of these masculines, or people sitting in that heavy masculine energy, they think with one thing and one thing only. I'm either fucking people, I'm a provider, or I hide my emotions because that's how I was raised. And now it's like someone cracked open their fucking heart and they're spilling emotions and thinking about things and thinking about how to respect women and thinking about, oh my gosh, this is all the things I used to do. These are all the things I used to say. And they may not have been the right move. It may not have been the best way to represent myself. And now all of a sudden I gotta mature. And all of society has programmed me and brainwashed me and made me think that it's okay to treat women this way. It's okay to think these horrific thoughts about them, these naughty, saucy little thoughts about them all the time. But wait a second, you're telling me that when I do that, it puts energy out there and it's like they can sense it? You're telling me that half the time these women, even if I didn't say anything, they could sense it with their own 2 fucking eyeballs and ears, that I was undressing them in my mind? Yeah. Mental explosion for some of these masculines. They're trying to process feelings that they were never taught how to process. And they're doing it all while battling the fact that it looks weak or less masculine while they're doing it. Drum roll, please. Yeah. It's becoming less confusing, but they're kind of on a roller coaster because, you know, we, as these feminines out here, heavy into our feminine energy, you know what we're used to? Expressing emotions. We're used to analyzing everything over and over and over. We know what they're doing before they think about it. We're naturally good at that. Why? It's that womb. They don't know how to do that without women telling them or someone directing them. And Spirit's fucking laying down the hammer of God on them, cracking open every chakra that they have to get them and pummel them through this twin flame journey. Now, some of them had an advantage and got through a lot sooner than others, but that's usually because it's severely trauma-based. We got a lot of other masculines out here that didn't face that kind of significant trauma that's now trying to figure it out on their own. And they're like, how do I have a family and consider people a high priestess, keep my woman and my female in this soft girl era while trying to figure out what the fuck my emotions mean? And then I have to be an emperor? What does that mean? They're all confused. They're all confused. But they're trying. They're trying really hard, actually. And actually, it's terrifying for them because they really do think they have to give up a lot. They feel like they have to give up parts of themselves, not necessarily because of you or because of the connection, but you know why? Because they're already shattering and shedding every layer of the person that they thought they were anyways, the person they always thought they'd be. You gotta remember, they also were raised in an environment where society swore to them that they had to do what? Live up to a certain expectation and timeline, get married, have kids. Oh, and then maybe go to college or go to a trade school. You got to support a family. You got to have the family. You got to get married and then have babies. And that's it. And now they're thinking of a whole new fucking horizon. They're like, wait a second, it doesn't have to be this way? But also, like, I kind of want it to be this way because, wait a second, it balances out my life. Like, it's okay to have these emotions and have someone to cuddle at night, and it's just okay. Like, if I needed to cry something out because something hurt my feelings, A, I can say it hurt my feelings, and B, I can cry it out because there's a safe place to do it. And wait a second, now women are becoming more mature and opening their heart spaces and getting past their own trauma, which means they're now also becoming a safe space for me. You've got to remember, too, a lot of these males were raised by women that didn't always give them compassion, care, and love. Or if they even had a mom to begin with or a loving home. So they're trying to figure out how to do it on their own, and Spirit's cracking the sky open for them. And so they're just kind of full bore. It's like if they were a fucking, pretend like this is your man's, and he's just hitting a brick wall every day. Except the brick wall gets mushier and mushier because Spirit's allowing it to. They're fighting past heartbreak, and they are literally learning almost on their own with the guide of their ancestors, their spirit. Do you know how many of them have, like, literally started going, holy shit, I never thought of life from this perspective. I never even looked at women from this perspective. The Divine Mother is where it's at. Like, we should treat them differently. They are the Holy Grail. Guys, 10:33 on the timer. Their whole life is completely different. We naturally were like this. They didn't have that opportunity unless they came from a loving home. And how many people in especially United States of America ever came from a 2-parent loving fucking home, healthy dynamic? Not many. Let me tell you. And not many where they could have emotions. You know, a lot of them are raised like with dads that were like, you don't need to fucking cry about it. If you're not bleeding, you don't need to be crying. And even if you're bleeding, why are you crying? You don't need to go to the hospital. They were playing football and every other sport under the sun. You know why? Because they were suppressing their emotions. Sports is how they did it. And then they were around a bunch of guys that talked pretty wrong most of the time about women. They're getting put through the fire. But you know what? They're really making some good lasting impressions. But they're also, for some of them, they're battling addictions. They're battling the truth that they don't want to see. They're battling the mirror, which is like, I used to call women bitches and whores, and I used to treat them like whores, and I used to stick my schlong and everything. Not all of them, but a lot of them. Hey, don't get me wrong. There's a lot of women out here who had their party days, and it was a fun time, wasn't it? Not everyone. Take it how it resonates. Also, please don't make this reading fit if it doesn't resonate. They were also consumed with pornography. You gotta remember, we had the internet since we were the days of dial-up. And ever since dial-up, guess what? There's pornography shoved down their throats at all angles. And you know what was in that pornography? Every category under the sun to treat women like objects. And that's how they learned through sexual activity, because most of us didn't learn unless it was in health class, which we got to learn about the cucumber and I almost said Sasquatch. Squash. Peach. Whatever smushy, delicious fruit you want to think of. The lotus flower. But yeah, they're struggling. And they're doing their best to break apart. So we got to give them a little bit of space, a little bit of comfort, a little bit of compassion. However, if they're not aligned for us, they're not aligned for us. They're not all on the same wavelength. A lot of them, this is a scale, right? Even if they're your twin, they're on a scale. Their maturity level, their healing level, if they fight it or not, if they fight this or not, a lot of them will fight it. A lot of them are going to fight it to the bitter end, especially the ones that are hateful, that truly, truly, truly are misogynistic. So, what else do you need to know other than they're in bed, thinking and evaluating what they're doing? A lot of them are putting self-love into themselves. They're exercising, they're eating right, they're doing the physical part, and the emotions come last. So Spirit's encouraging you all to just remember, it's a tough road for everyone, and if they are not aligned and they're not ready, don't push them. Because there are people out there that are. They're ready. They're willing to put in the work to get that watermelon of yours. And a lot of them are now starting to think about things other than just your watermelon. They're coming at you with emotional integrity. They're coming at you with compassion and care. They're not thinking about the first thing is, hey, I'm going to buy this woman a dinner so I can fuck her. Which, that is how society was brainwashed and conditioned to think. And hey, they're not all gold diggers. Oh my gosh, most of them are independent and striving for themselves now. And holy shit, so what I have to offer is my emotions, and my love, and my compassion, and my care. holy fucking shit, and that means I have to cry sometimes, or express my emotions, and that's okay, 10:37 on the timer. Yeah, unbalanced ego. You got a lot of fat egos out here they're trying to balance. So, use your discernment, give them a little grace, but if they're not aligned, they're not aligned. But